Now, somebody was at my house the other day, and I promise you they said this. They said, can you please... Which camera I'm looking at?
This one.
This one over there?
Mm-hmm.
Why is it so over there? Is this one with the red?
Yeah, it's not over there for real.
It's not over here no more? Okay, sorry, guys. But I was talking to somebody. They was like, I listen to your podcast all the time in the car, and every time you tell Trishana to stop yelling when the episode starts, I really be feeling that. And I'm like, why you really...
They was at your house?
Yeah, because
so they know
my
me?
lashes. Yeah. No, she was doing my lashes. So we don't know her yet.
Mm.
But I promise you, she was like, when we be in the car, like, that really, like, blow my speaker out.
Really?
Like,
I don't even be loud. You don't know how bad I want to yell right now.
And let's just not
it's like
that.
Burning in my heart.
Let's not do that. But what I do want to do is tell you who today's episode...
That's it. It's my signature. It's like saying, don't be you, you know?
Start it over. Zoom back out.
Girl.
Zoom back out, JoJo. All right, zoom back in, JoJo. So welcome to another episode of Beyond the Channel. Let's be serious. Today's episode is sponsored by none other than Ben's Knows Best, and it's basically Ben means beneficiary because a lot of people do not understand the importance of having a life insurance policy and what to do with their life insurance policy. So thank God for Ben's Knows Best for teaching us about insurance policy literacy.
Yes, and you know what? She talks all about the do's and the don'ts on life insurance. And you guys know you can actually borrow against your policies.
Yes.
Like, that's a big funding hack. You know, I love funding. And after paying upward of $100 million in life insurance claims, I saw, this is what she says, I saw firsthand that the big mistakes people were making were their life insurance policies. My goal is to educate everyday people and let them know that they can do repayments on it. They can make the payment process easier, be prepared when the time comes, and again, like, borrow from those policies and really build up, you know, generational wealth. And it really starts with life policy. Yeah.
And I really love Ben's Knows Best because she literally teaches you how to borrow against your life insurance policy. So I think a lot of people think that life insurance policy is for when you die, but it's a life.
Yeah, like while you alive.
While you alive.
I see what you did there. Life while you alive. You know what's crazy too? Someone told me that if you have staff, you should get them life insurance policies and you can borrow against your own staff.
Life insurance policies, right? So if you want to know more information on life insurance, how to borrow from your life insurance, how to make sure that your beneficiaries are set up for your life insurance plan, make sure you click the link right under this video so you can go directly to Ben's Knows Best. And thank you so much for sponsoring today's episode.
Yes, Beans.
Yes.
You know, I really can't say the word beneficiary.
How do you say it?
Beneficiary.
Beneficiary. You starting to act like Glorilla.
Like library.
Who Glorilla be saying? Charlotte.
What's that?
Charlotte.
Beneficiaries.
Cure. She be like, cure.
Beneficiaries.
That's cute. Actually, Glorilla, can you please come on the episode and give us a vocabulary dictionary for Glorilla?
You know, it's funny because my family's just in town over the weekend and we went out to eat. And my goddaughter, she's real hood, you know? And my family, they're very like godly. She's real hood. And my family, they're really like godly and stuff. Speaking of godly, we got a guest here today. It's very godly. But and my grandparents were like, oh my word, Gorilla came on, and they were like, oh my word, I'm FR what? And my goddaughter was like, oh, when the song came on, my goddaughter was like, oh, and she looked at me, she was like, if I was like,
she couldn't hold it in.
She started, I'm FREE, and she's 5. I was like, oh please, Lord, take the hood out this child.
So right now, I want my Sky Daddy to close his ears. You know what a Sky Daddy is?
No.
God.
Sky Daddy.
Yeah.
Wow, I learned so much today already. And we just got started. It's crazy.
I really need for my Sky Daddy to close his ears real quick because we have a topic to bring in the episode today.
Ooh, child, not seen it yet, God. Listen, do not hold this one against me because
Sky Daddy, please. What is a Sky Daddy? This is the dictionary of a Sky Daddy.
God.
Sky Daddy means God.
So do you got a sugar daddy?
No, I only a Sky Daddy.
Okay, good.
Okay, so Sky Daddy about to close his ears. Okay, so how do you feel about freaking on the first night? Do you feel like that changes?
Freaking, like this? Baby grind. Oh, you know what that sound like? Bedroom boom.
Do y'all hear this?
Fast is going down tonight. Boom. Let me do your body right. My bed will be booming for you. Boom, boom, eh. Boom, boom.
Wait.
Do I do it on the first night?
Wait. Let me ask a question.
Because you was over there feeling it. Do it one more time, friend. Yeah. You know what? You was actually teaching me some moves yesterday. We was on the phone.
I'm still celibate. So, do you feel like freaking on the first night, which is sexual intercourse, changes the trajectory of a relationship that could potentially happen with a man?
Yes.
I don't
have sex on the first night.
The men that I want to be with, I have sex with them as soon as I see them.
Like the minute you look at them? Why?
If you find you mine.
You comfortable?
I'll be so comfortable.
Why?
Because I just need to get that part of it out the way.
Why?
Because I'm not about to wait and then try to like you for your personality. I don't like men for their personality.
Why?
I like them for what they can do to me. What you can do to me and what you can do for me.
See, my issue is this. Do the squeaking sound again. Okay, so my stuff is gonna be like real dry if I don't like you.
No, and see, okay, let me be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Or you want to finish your statement? Because they
ahead.
always say I never let you finish your statement.
Go ahead.
I feel like having sex on the first night, I'm not even gonna lie, to all the men that I had sex with on the first night, it was so horrible. Every last one of y'all, it's never been nothing good.
Every last one?
Every last one. But
every
by
last
just
one and all
every
it
last
sounds like
one.
a lot. Y'all, she's not a hoe, y'all, I promise.
No, it's probably only like, I'd say 35.
Quit lying.
Sorry, no, that's a joke.
No, that wasn't a joke. Quit lying. Because you already told me how many it was.
Yeah, I've been in a relationship my whole life. So since the time I lost my virginity at 14, I've been in a relationship. Completely honest. Completely honest. Like
you still keep track of how many people?
Yeah.
Me too.
How many people have been there?
How many people have been there?
How many people have been there?
6.
7.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. And we almost 30, so that's not bad. You lying. But anyways, let me tell you why I don't do it. Because it's like really like I have to perform. Mm-hmm. It has to perform. Mm-hmm. And I'm a star. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. If I'm doing it on the first night, I'm not performing and I'm not a superstar. It's giving real boo, Z-list celebrity. You see what I'm saying? So I have to wait till it's going to give A-list. And it's going to give A-list when you're consistent. And yeah, when you call me all day, check on me all day, then it's like, ooh. Then it's going to give water.
But see,
look like this. It's going to be like this. Ooh, that's a water.
But see, the thing for me is when I have sex on the first night, it's never really good. But if I like that person anyway, so I want to grow with that person. You know what? Let me stop lying.
How do they come back?
Let me stop lying. I don't have sex on the first night because that's like when you first meet somebody, right?
Yeah.
No, we be talking for a minute.
But
when we get in private for the first time, then I have sex with them. So we probably didn't went on dates and stuff. You get what I'm saying?
Probably.
So, yeah, probably. But it's not when I first meet them.
No, because the people that you've done that with, y'all was talking for like a couple weeks.
No, a couple. Every nigga I didn't talk to, Trisha, I didn't talk to.
Oh, you getting serious? She said the N word, y'all.
Yeah, like every nigga, all my niggas love me. You know this.
Yeah, they do,
and they stay around forever.
You know what's crazy?
I be having to kick them out the spot.
You've been teaching me how to be. Y'all, my friend is so full of love. I thought Des was mean. When it comes to men, she is a soft, fluffy pillow with real feathers. Like, I am the problem. I did not know that I was so like.
Fuck first night.
No, absolutely. But I'm so like, if he don't text me back, I'm blocking him. Des be like, you gotta text him, check him, and be like, I'm thinking about you, and that. Like, I've been learning so much these last couple of days about her. I am literally the opposite. Like, I'm just so cold, and I had no clue. Until seeing how you are with people allegedly, like you really like go out your way
Fuck
for
on the first night.
Yeah.
Fuck on the first night, guys.
And you give them all the energy and love that come with that.
Speaking of all of the energy and love, I cannot wait to tell you about our spotlight for today.
Can Sky Daddy open his ears?
Huh?
Can Sky
Daddy, you can open your ears now.
He said, "Thank you, my child."
He African?
A little bit.
Thank you, Sky Daddy. People about to think we crazy. But speaking of all the energy and all the love, can we please bring up our spotlight for today? Yeah, so today in studio we have Yocairys, and Yocairys has been around us for a long time now. She has so much energy. Y'all go see as soon as she get on camera. She has so much energy. She shines so much light on so many people, and everything like that. So let's welcome Yocairys to the show.
Hey y'all, hey.
Hi.
Clap it up, keep clapping it.
How did you enjoy the intro?
That was so fun. Y'all are so like natural. Like,
thank you.
I could sit and watch y'all all day.
Thank you.
Yes, I love this.
So let's start out with getting into Chair Chat. Welcome to Beyond the Chair. We always just dive straight into Chair Chat. It's never a dull moment to be on the chair. And I know you watch the podcast sometime too, right? And I know Trishana got some questions too, right?
Yeah.
I know you do.
I got some questions.
But let's break the ice real quick. Let's describe you in 3 words because we know you, but just tell our platform about you in 3 words.
Okay. So, as they said, my name is Yocairys, and 3 words that describe me, I would say is leader, servant, and genuine.
Yes.
I like that.
So
And to lead, you gotta serve.
that's what I was about to say. To lead, you have to serve. We right here with it. My question is, what is it to be a servant? Because I know a lot of people know how to be leaders, but what is it to be a servant? Because I think that's a part that people skip over.
So to be a servant is actually, for me, being a servant is like seeing where there's a problem, right? Seeing where there's a missing piece, whether that's in someone's life, someone's business, and me just being around it. I don't care if you're a stranger, someone I know. I like to fit in and see how I can help. Like I'm like for service for anyone. Like I don't need the money. I mean, granted, like you could bless me, right?
Yes.
But I feel like I just love to serve people and like be there for people. So serving people is pretty much putting your personal needs and like desires to the side to be of assistance to others, to help them grow, because I feel like that's one of the ways God blesses you.
Right.
Just by being a servant to other people.
And you know what, guys? This is really our friend in real life. And I'd be having to tell her friend, like, it's okay to big yourself up and not repost people every day. Yeah. Like, you don't got to big up everybody's stuff every day. And I love that about her because she's very, very, very selfless. And a lot of pretty girls don't be like that. And she is. So,
Thank you, friend.
Thank you. And I love that you're a servant, but it has to be a time in your life where you want to be selfish. So tell us, we know you as a servant, but tell us things that you do to be selfish, to like get Yokairis happy, to like just get your zen mode when you're selfish. You're not thinking about anybody else but yourself.
So when I, like, for example, right, and I'm it's crazy you guys say that, you know, like, Yokairys, I get being a servant is cool, but put you first, like, you know, put yourself first, you know. And a lot of my friends tell me that, like, Yokairys, you're too giving, like, you gotta focus on you,
right? And
I kind of have a hard time focusing on that. And that's because, speaking on how I get to my Zen mode, I honestly, and this is not me trying to come off like a little angel, y'all, but I honestly I just pray and I just lock in on myself. And that's how I become selfish. Like, when I'm locked in with God, like, that's my selfish moment. Like, I don't let no one talk to me. I shut my man out. I shut my friends out. I shut everybody out. And when God speaks to me and he gives me confirmation on an idea I have, I don't let no one speak down on it. Like, I literally, that's my selfish moment. Like, nah, I don't need your opinion. I don't need your advice. And it's not me being ignorant, because I know a lot of people have ideas and tools, but when I hear from him, that's when I that's when I become selfish. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, it is. Because it's like what God got for you is for you.
Yeah, basically. And that's when I get that confirmation, that's when I'm like, all right, this is me time. Like, I'm shutting down on everybody else and I'm focusing on me, kind of thing.
So tell the people exactly what you do, because, you know, she's a business owner.
Yes, ma'am.
And we love to talk about business and give some business tips as well on the show. So just kind of tell us what you do a little bit.
So I learned about entrepreneurship about 4 years ago. I joined network marketing. And once I learned about entrepreneurship, I was like, oh my God, I need to own something that I enjoy doing. Like, you know, and so I started a Christian clothing brand. It's called Push, Pray Until Something Happens.
I love that.
And thank you. And I started that brand about 2 years ago. Right now, I'm actually working on rebranding the brand because I have such a huge idea for it. Not just clothing, but like a community for entrepreneurs to network.
A convention.
Yes, yes. So a platform where, you know, entrepreneurs could come get resources and things like that. But aside from that, I also teach Airbnb. I do credit repair and I teach business credit. And I also now started doing like pretty much Airbnb like setups for people. So if you live like in a different city, a different state, and you don't have the time to travel to set up your Airbnbs, I'm pretty much servicing you in that way. And
back to your servant mode, right? So I love the relationship that you have with your Sky Daddy. So, and that's God.
Yeah.
Okay. So was it always like that for you, where you had a great relationship with God, or was it a pivotal moment in your life where you was like, okay, I just need to devote myself to Him? Because I don't feel like a lot of people just be like having the same relationship you got with your Sky Daddy just off the bat. Even when your parents raised you in a Christian household, you still don't be having a good relationship with your Sky Daddy. So what was that pivotal moment for you that you like, I'm about to lock in with my Sky Daddy?
All right. So honestly, I'm very transparent. When growing up, my mom sent us to Sunday school, right? And that's I knew there was a God. I always knew there was a God, but I didn't give my life to God. I didn't build a relationship with Him until I was 17 years old, and I was facing 25 to life in prison.
Wait, say that again.
I went to prison at 17 years old, and I was facing 25 to life.
You in prison?
Yeah.
Shut up.
So cute. Like, I know they. Oof.
Yeah, I
We
know.
can talk about that.
I might get a little emotional, y'all. So.
Okay, it's okay.
But yeah, at the age of 17, God set me apart. And in the beginning, I was like, what? Like, it was just such a big transition. Like, I'm in prison, 25 to life. I'm 17. Like, what's happening? But when that happened, I kid y'all not, the first day I was in that cell, I don't know what led me to that. Like, I promise you, I just dropped to my knees and started praying. I didn't know what, I didn't know. I promise you, I had no control over it. I didn't know what I was praying for. I didn't know what I was doing. I just know I dropped to my knees, and I was just like, it was like a surrender.
Right.
And I learned as I grew spiritually that sometimes God has to set you apart to get your attention. And then for a while, I'm like, all right, God, you had to set me apart, but like, why like this?
Yeah.
Like, this is not a way I could imagine, you know? So for me, you know, that's how I met God. That's how I built my relationship with God. So a lot of people think that building a relationship with God, you have to be perfect, and no, He meets you where you're at.
Right.
You know, and that's where I'm. He already knew me, but that's when I got to know him. Yeah.
Right. Okay, so we're going to double back on that 25-year to life situation at 17 in a minute, because I really have some specific questions that I want to know about that area in your life. But before we get there, you're a Dominican, right?
Yes, I
so
am.
you are part of the Black and Brown community.
Yes, I am.
Black and Brown community.
Yes,
what are
mama.
you, Trishana?
Everything.
I thought you was Barbadian.
No.
Oh, I was.
You be making that up because you cousins with Rihanna, not me.
Oh, okay. I'm Barbadian.
Yeah.
You're Dominican.
I'm native, but that's black and white. My great grandma mixed.
Oh my God, you never could join
Your
in on
cousins
the.
with Rihanna?
Yeah.
For real, for real?
You never knew my last name was Fenty, girl. Stop playing. Okay. So in the black,
I'm a little Cuban too, though.
Cuban. Okay, so we got Cuban mommy, Dominican mommy, and Barbadian mommy.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, so in the Black and Brown community, we face a lot of childhood trauma, as I would say. So do you feel like your childhood wait, where's my question at? I'm so sorry. This shit that goddamn froze, y'all. Just bleep it out. Dang, where my question? Don't be in the comments talk about some Des didn't even know her question.
Yeah, y'all be attacking Des in the comments.
What?
They do. Okay, I got it. Because I got a lot of questions.
Oh.
Okay, so in the Black and Brown community, we do face a lot of childhood trauma just based upon the environment that we grew up in. So honestly, do you feel like the environment that you grew up in, did it help you or hurt you in your adolescence, your teens?
I feel like for me, I would say, thank God, I grew up with both my parents. So in that way, I was okay. But I would say my mom, great mom, amazing mom, but she's Spanish, so she liked to travel. She still wanted to have fun with her friends.
My mom
so
too,
it kind of forced me to grow up fast and be the woman of the house in a way.
Yeah.
Like, you know, she'll be out with her friends, and now I got two brothers, and they're like, we hungry, or, you know, they make a mess. So I'm like taking up the women duties. So at that time, it was like a little bit rough because I feel like I had to mature quicker than I wanted to.
I think that's all three we have that in common.
Yeah,
Grew up
like
a little
and that's
fast.
what comes from the Black and like
Brown
Latin communities, right? So
growing up fast.
Yeah,
and then they
up
call us fast.
Yeah.
I had to. I was raising your children.
Right. So in that sense, in that, like, when I look back at my life and everything that's happened in my life, like me going to prison, all that stuff, that, I'm not gonna lie, like, that is part of one of the traumas and the things that led to that.
Right.
But I would say now as a woman, that has given me the ability to be independent. Like, I feel like, don't get me wrong, like, I'll let people do what they want to do, like, you know, let's say got, you know, a man or whatever, but I'm very independent. Like, I know I got myself, I can do on my own. I'm
Do
good.
you take pride in that, or do you feel like it's hindering you?
I take pride in it because I don't ever want to be needy. Like, I want people to know that regardless of what. And my man hates when I say this, but I'm like, babe, like, I'm good. Like, I'm always make it happen. And it's not that I'm grateful for people or things, but I just know that I'm always good, and that's because I know where I come from. I know what I've been through. I know what I brought myself through. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay, so let's take it back a little bit. I know it's about to get a little bit emotional, but at 17, I got you some right here.
Oh, now she got the... Yeah.
But I want to ask really specific questions because I don't want to, like, go into, like, because it's such a big scope of things and an overview and a big story. So I want to just touch on specific things of it. So just take us back to that day when you were 17 and and how that day shifted for you. Like, how did it start out, and then how did it shift?
Wow, where do I start? So, funny enough, I spoke on this a lot, like 3 years ago. A friend of mine, like, he encouraged me to just break out of it. And I was like, I think I'm ready to speak not my truth, but to speak my story, you know? So here we are again, and I'm ready, okay? So I appreciate y'all for this.
No, and thank you for being open.
It helps the healing, and it helps impact people, because every time I share this story, you know, people constantly reach out and say, you know, thank you for sharing, you know? But, yeah, so at the age of 17, you know, I was first of all, emotionally, I was so stressed out. I was so stressed out because my mom, again, great mom, amazing mom. My mom is a dope mom. But she wanted to travel to DR, so she'll go every summer with her friends and leave my brothers and I with my dad. And, you know, leaving your kids with a man is kind of like leaving them alone, because the man ain't going to pay too much attention to them, you know? But either way, I was very overwhelmed. I was working. I was trying to get to school. But I'm like, you know, I'm 17. I mean, yeah, I should work, but again, I grew up so fast that I'm like focused on my priorities weren't straight, but it wasn't really my fault. It was like all innocent. Long story short, I remember that this day, I was at work, and my best friend picked me up from work, and she was like, hey, let's go do our hair. Let's go to the beauty supply, because we used to always dye our hairs at her house. So I'm like, all right, friend, that's cool. Let's go do that. So I was like, let's go to my house really quickly, because I want to go check on something. So what I wanted to go check on is the fact that the day prior to that day, my brother and I had gotten into a argument, and it just left the house a little shaky. So he kind of made like small threats, like, I'm gonna do this to your stuff, I'm gonna do that to your stuff, and I'm like, he ain't gonna damage my stuff that I work hard for, you know?
Right.
So I just went to the house just to make sure everything was good, copacetic, you know? So I went in, everything was fine, but he was just so angry. Like, I don't know why, but he was just so angry. And
friend.
yeah, it's cool, y'all. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
It's been 10 years now. Yesterday was actually his birthday.
Okay.
But it's cool.
birthday.
It's cool.
Okay.
Yeah, he was just like super angry, but he was also like in a messed up like spiritual space mentally. Like, he was going through a lot, and now as a woman of God, I can understand that we're going through spiritual warfare. It's not flesh, you know. But anyway, he was very angry, and then we just kind of started going at it verbally. And it led to physical, and he and I were like best friends. Like, out of all three of us, you know, it's two brothers, and I was the only girl. I was closer to him than my other brother, because we used to call my other brother a snitch. So we used to be like, we don't want him around. We're gonna it's us, you know. So it was it was out of the usual, out of the norm. So it got physical, you know. He like grabbed a dog chain and, you know, pretty much was coming at me with it, you know, and all that kind of stuff. And I had grabbed a knife, and like a lot of people who have shared with me, you know, they go through situations with their siblings where they don't think like, it's not gonna go bad. Like, you know, you pick up a knife to scare them. You know, you might hit them and not think nothing's gonna happen to them. I don't know if y'all can relate to sibling fights, you know. But for me, it was basically a sibling fight that went wrong. I had grabbed a knife to scare him, and I was aware of what I was doing, and I was like, oh nah, and I threw it to the side. I was like, what am I doing? But it started escalating even more and more and more and more. And it was to the point where I was just like, yo, I'm good, bro. But he just kept coming at me. And I picked the knife back up again from where I left it. And when I grabbed it, he was like standing in front of me. He was a bit taller. And when he came in front of me, he was like, so just do it. You trying to scare me, just do it. And he like jerked at me, and like my reflex just like hit him like in his collar. And but it didn't, like, the knife didn't penetrate deep. Right. It was like literally the tip. Like it was just crazy. And my other brother was there, and so once it happened too fast. And he just like held his collar, and he just like walked outside to the porch, and he just sat there. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, oh my God, when this is over, he gonna beat me up even more. Yeah. Like, I'm not thinking nothing of it. And my other brother, he called the ambulance. I called my dad. No one's thinking anything of it. My brother said, listen, just stay here. I'm going to the hospital with him. Just go to the hospital with dad when he gets here, kind of thing. And when they went in the ambulance, I ended up going to my friend's house and waiting for my dad. And then my brother called my dad, like, I would say 20 minutes later, and said that he passed away, that he died upon arrival in the hospital. Yeah, and so
Because you wouldn't even expect
yeah,
that.
I didn't think he was gonna die.
Right.
So like my
Oh, I can't
for
even
a
talk
while
about it.
it was like for a while it was like, you know, I was beating myself because I'm like, all I could remember is like seeing him sitting on the steps and like I'm not knowing that he's like dying, pretty much internally bleeding, and he caught a cardiac arrest. So it's something I live with every day. It gets easier because honestly, God, that's how I have my peace. Because if it was up to me, I wouldn't be here.
Right. So let's just.
What do you mean if it was up to you, you wouldn't be here?
Because I felt very unworthy, but my family was so supportive.
So you had like suicidal thoughts after that?
No, I never had suicidal thoughts, but the enemy would try to trick me to that. But because I had God in my life, and because he had my family showing up every day, I used to tell him, stop coming to visit me. I don't deserve it. I'm not worthy of it. But they kept showing up, and that just kept reminding me that God
sent his village, baby.
God, more for me. And I'm just like, thank you, God, but why did my brother, I had to be the sacrifice?
Right. But you never know, like, I think that all of our stories are written from the day, you know, that we're born. So it's like, even though it ended in a tragedy, you never know how at peace, like, he probably, you know, was after that. But facing something like that at 17, like, that has to be even a bigger burden. Because, you know, like, our brains are, like, not as developed as they are now.
Yeah.
So what point did the police come and they arrested you? Like, when did you become a suspect?
So I would say like an hour or so after that, my dad he met me at my friend's house, and he received a call, and everyone was like crying. I'm like, I'm not gonna believe anything until my dad tells me.
Yeah.
I was in denial until his funeral day, but when my dad arrived to my friend's house, he was like, I'm gonna go to the hospital and see what's going on. And when he went, he texted me, he said he's gone. And that's when I believed it. And I was like in complete shock. Like, honestly, for like 2 weeks until his funeral, I thought my dad was pranking me.
Yeah.
The whole time.
Just
I
to
thought,
teach you a lesson.
Right. And I was very in denial. But right after that, my dad was like, listen, and this is why I love my dad so much. My mom was like, you love your dad more than me. I'm like, it's not that. But he was there. She was on vacation. So when I saw my dad, like, he's like, yo, my son is gone, but now they about to take my daughter. Like, I can't even imagine what he was feeling. So he was like, listen, you're 17. I'm not going to let them take you like that. So go in the house.
That just gave me chills.
Go in the house and don't open the door for nobody until I get there. So I was in my friend's house. So I'm like, okay, so we're outside and we see this car circling the block. It was detectives. So my friend is like, go in the house. So I go in the house. They knocked on the door. I go in their backyard. I go in this shed they had. And I'm in the shed, and they're like, she has to come out. If she doesn't come out, we're going to get a SWAT team out here, or like some type of big team out here. It was like 5 of them. And I was like, oh my God. And they were like, come out. We're not going to do nothing to you. We already know what happened. Because my brother.
The snitch.
He's not the
snitch. Sorry.
Kelvin. His name is Kelvin. But he.
Sorry, Kelvin. That's the only thing she told me. So
sorry,
that's
yeah. Used to, yeah, Kelvin. You know, he spoke and told them, like, you know, and it broke my heart, because even like, he still hurts from what happened and hasn't fully healed from it. And even when that happened, he was like, he didn't want to see me go away, so he was gonna take the blame for it.
Aww.
Yeah. But anyway, he told them what happened, and they were like, we know what happened, so just come out.
Yeah.
I came out. They didn't even handcuff me. When they saw, I don't know what they thought I was gonna look like, but when I came out, I had on like a little tank top and shorts, and they was like, oh my God, and I had red hair. And they were like, we're just gonna take you in. I was like, can we wait for my dad? They let me wait for my dad. They never handcuffed me. They didn't treat me like a criminal, like a murderer, you know.
Yeah.
But I was on the newspapers. They labeled me as a monster who killed her brother over who killed her brother over a cell phone. And they painted me as a big monster, but I'm like, man, my family's here, so that's what made me strong. Like, to this day, like, people might hear my story. It's rare that somebody hits me with something stupid, but even if they do, I'm like, man, my family got me. I don't care about nothing else. Like, I grew such tough skin on people talking about me and stuff like that. I've been called the worst things ever, you know. So yeah, they got me, and I went in. My parents tried to bail me out. They said no bail, 25 to life, and I fought my case for like 3 months. My first offer was 5 years. The DA, right in front of me, she said, listen, your family is here for you. I don't believe you have to be in there for long. And she said, how much time do you think I should give you? And that's to show you how the system is.
Yeah.
Let's just excuse my story. They could do whatever they want.
Well,
with
with
you.
the time, yes.
And I said to her, I said, honestly, I could be there for the rest of my life. It wouldn't bring nothing. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, I didn't care what happened. But, you know, the 5 years came up. I took it. I said, there's a reason for it. And I just sat down for 5 years. I've been home now for 5 years. I did parole, never got violated. Started my business. I pour into people. My life transitioned like a lot.
God.
Yeah.
But God.
And that's tragedy to triumph. Like, that is really, like, something that God, like you said, God had to isolate you and send you through that, you know, situation. And through, like, jail is a process. Because when I first met Yocairys, I was on the phone with her. I was talking to somebody in jail at the time. I was talking to my little jail boo, whatever. She's like, I did 5 years. I think she did 5 years with a jail boo. Like me. She was like, I did 5 years. I'm like, what did she do? Scam or something? Yeah. But when she told me the story, I had to go. She was just like, go look on YouTube. So I went to go look on YouTube. I watched the story. But just seeing like a mirror for where you are now, like I would never think that you've been through something like that, especially at such a young age. But for it to happen at a young age was also a blessing, because you still get to live out like the young years of your life.
Yeah, and you know, like, I thank God I look like what I've been through, and that's the beautiful thing about God. Like, there's a and it don't make sense sometimes, but there's a reason for the pain, there's a reason for the journey, there's a reason for the process. And I just see, and I always tell him, like, that's why now, like, I don't think I'm holier than thou, but that's why I live my life through him. Like, I don't talk to no one without inviting him to church. I don't speak on nothing unless I speak on him, because he deserves everything, because I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him, you know.
True.
And you know, with prison, like, it's really mental. Like, if you don't do your time, it will do you. And what I mean by that, you have women in there committing suicide, heavy on drugs. Not once that I had to take mental medication. Not once that I had to go to therapy. I mean, therapy, like, I do it now just, you know, for my own personal wants and desires or whatever, healing. But it's just, when you covered by God, it's just, he's everything.
Different.
He's just everything, you know. And I feel like a lot of women, you know, like, now that I'm home 5 years, I've seen so many women, like, they didn't even make it past a year, because they either go back or they die.
Right.
Or they commit suicide. Why? Because it's not easy out here. Because statistically, I shouldn't be here. Statistically, I should be depressed. I shouldn't be doing anything. But the fact that God is using
such the opposite. Like, you're always full of life. Like, every time we talk,
of life.
Yeah, so full of life and love. Like, laugh. We all goofy as heck. Like, it's so different.
So how do you feel like 5 years in prison, like, shaped and molded you who you are today? Because, like, I've never been to prison. Like, I seen Orange is the New Black. Is it anything like that?
Yeah.
It is?
I didn't watch the show, really, because I'm like, I don't want to relive it.
Right. Because you was there every day, for real.
Yeah, you know.
So how did that shape you? Like, how was that experience? How did you know who to trust and who to befriend? Because one of your best friends came from prison. And I love her.
We got, you know what's crazy? We met maybe like 3 months before we got separated, because they do anything with you. So I would tell you this, one of the things that I learned is how to adjust. One thing I always say is champions adjust.
Yeah.
When something's not working out, like, let's just say we couldn't work here and something was messed up. Yo, we don't shut the whole thing down, we adjust.
Yeah.
You know, so being in prison, they could do what they want with you. 1 minute, I'm an hour away from home. Next day, they could say, yo, pack it up, you going 10 hours up. Like, nothing, and you can't say nothing.
Right.
I remember they moved me to a prison like close to almost Canada.
Yeah.
I was shackled and handcuffed for 10 hours on a bus, like this, in a cage for 10 hours.
Ooh,
you see them pulling over to the gas station to eat, use the bathroom, and I'm just like. So one thing that prison taught me is how to adjust to my environments. Like, recently, I just moved to Houston. I make a year in like a couple weeks that I moved, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, it's so nerve-wracking." I'm like, "That's true, but." Nah, you gotta
nerve-wracking.
You know, like, I know, like, when you look back over your life, like, everything you've been through is really helping. It's the tools you needed. It created the characteristics and things that you needed in order to become who you are today.
Right.
So that's one of the things.
Would you say if you can go back and change? I wouldn't say that, but do you regret your story, or do you feel like it made you exactly who you're supposed to be? Because I feel like people always ask me if there's things I could change, would I? And obviously that's something that you would want him to be here, obviously.
Of course.
But do you feel like you wish you would have had a whole different story?
Honestly, I remember this very vividly. I was turning 19 and 18. I was turning 18, and all my friends was getting ready to graduate high school. I was on the phone with my friends and all that cool stuff. And I remember saying, I remember I was in church. I used to praise dance. So I was heavy in church. I was going to Bible study 3 times a week. Like, I was heavy in church. And I remember saying this, and I meant this with all my heart. I was like, I got on the mic, and I was like, you know, I just turned 18, and I wish I was out there with my friends. You know, they out there getting new cars because they graduated high school. They going to college, new jobs. I said, but I got the biggest gift, and that was knowing who God is. That was Jesus. So for me, honestly, because that's what I gained from my story, of course, I would want my brother back, of course. But I wouldn't change anything because that's how I met him.
True.
God.
So let's speak about the transition moving from your 5-year sentence back into society. Like, you always knew your out date, right?
Yeah.
So closer to your out date, were you getting scared, nervous? How was it, like, transitioning back into society? Because you left as a teenager, came out as an adult, like a grown woman. So it's like expectations are different. You know, like, people are doing, it's different out here. It's like really different. How did you transition?
So I remember not wanting to come back home to my parents or family because I just felt like they were here for me the whole time, but what if they really don't forgive me? Like, what if it's different when I go back home? So I was kind of scared to go home with them, not because of anything harmful, but because I just couldn't show face. You know, like, that was just me because I still didn't forgive myself at that time, even 5 years later. And so when I was transitioning home, I came home with a plan. So that's another thing. You gotta have vision, like, and I just came home with a vision. I was like, all right, this ain't happening for nothing. I gotta make something out of this. My mindset was I have to live for two people. I have to represent everything my brother ever wanted and what I ever wanted. So I was like, I'm going home with a plan. That. And so my plan was, I'm gonna go to school. Because there's a lot of resources if you look for them. You know, when you're re-entering society, there's not as many as we should have, right? But they have enough resources to where you can at least get, you know, the right guidance, right? So I was like, I'm going home. I had a little book. I was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna be a personal trainer, or I'm gonna be a real estate agent, or I'm gonna do dental hygiene. I put a bunch of stuff. And then I was like, all right, what's the easiest things to knock out? So I came home to my mom. She was like, no, you have to come home to us. You can't, you was gone for too long. You gotta come home to us. I was like, all right, cool. Went home, enrolled myself in school. I got my dental assisting certificate.
Oh, wow, I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I did that. And then the goal was to go to school to graduate with my dental hygiene. But then I learned about entrepreneurship, and I was like, hold on.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
I'm going to do that. So I was in network marketing for like 2 or 3 years. I was leading a team of over 100 people.
Oh, wow.
So that was pretty fun.
I did network marketing too.
You did? What you did?
I did body wraps.
Oh, you did? Wow, yeah. That's where I learned about leadership and about personal development and working on yourself mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. And that's when I just started to get these thoughts and these ideas. And yeah, life just started. But I had a lot of support. So yes, it was. I don't want to say it was easy because I don't want to discredit anyone who says it's hard.
Right.
But if you come home with a plan
and
you look for and you also, granted, a lot of people say I don't have the family support. I get that, but don't let that be your crutch.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's other people that will support you. There's other resources. Just look. If you seek, you'll find.
Right.
So just look for it, you know? And so that was what it was for me. Like, I executed. I got a job, like, my second week home. And I was working for, like, 13 an hour. Then I got a job that was, like, 15. Then I got 18. Then 21. Then 30. 21? And then now I just do my own thing.
You make your own money. How long after you came home did your best friend come home?
She was home before me.
How?
She was home, like, I think a year or so before me.
Oh, I know she was waiting on you.
Yes, and it's crazy because we didn't get super tight until now. Like, not now, but, like, until, like, 3 years ago.
Oh, wow.
So when we met, it was just, like, we just connected in a way because there's not a lot of like-minded people in there. You know, just like it is out here, you know. You are who you surround yourself with, you know. If you want to think big, you got to surround yourself around people that think big. And with her, it was something about our conversation that I was like, nah, you're someone I have to connect with, you know, in the real world.
Yeah.
And we connected, and ever since then, we've been working together, building together, and just growing together.
True.
Well, before we move on to Tequila Truths, quick question. What would you say to someone who may be at their lowest point right now and they don't see the light? Maybe they're not as super connected with God. Obviously, that's one thing, but what's something you would just really want to leave people with who are just really down bad? Because this is a really trying time for a lot of people. You know, we're in a recession. Things are going left and right for a lot of people right now.
If you don't have a relationship with God, of course, build one, right? And the way you do that is just surrender, you know,
yes,
just literally, you ain't gotta do nothing special. You don't gotta be like, oh God, I'm perfect. Come as you are. Because I promise you, if I was perfect, he wouldn't have nothing to do with me, right? But because I'm imperfect, because I have my flaws, because I have dirt on me, right? He cleanses, he does the work, right? But aside from that, like, I would honestly say, like, if you're not even a big believer, right? Every day you wake up is a new opportunity. That's how I look at it. So if I woke up, God woke me up this morning, and if you don't believe in God, I mean, okay, you woke up this morning. Look at it as a new day, a new opportunity. And this is what I do. I look back at what I've been through, and I'm like, there's no way that I went through all of that, and that what I went through, it's a new day, and I know he didn't bring me this far to only bring me this far.
Right.
Like, I was just telling my best friend, you gotta have faith. Like, think about it. We went to prison. She did. I don't want to share her story, but she did more time than me. So it's like, friend, what your?
Can you tell how long she did?
She did 10 years.
Ooh.
So you know, like,
you would have never thought that either when I met her.
I love her. She's so sweet.
She's so sweet. Friend, you hear that?
We need to bring her on the show. What's her name again?
Wealthy.
What's her real name?
Kira.
Oh, Wealthy Kira. This is your invite to come share your story on Beyond the Chair, because she's really wealthy in spirit, in mind, in money.
That's crazy, because you was around her one time and you got all of that.
Yeah.
So I tell her, I be like, everybody be trying to steal my frame.
It's because she hit them angles too. She like, I'm like, can you take my picture? She's like, give me the phone, Yocairys. I got the angle. Like, she just
she was preaching to our Uber driver in the car. I was like, yeah. She was.
Yes. But yeah, like, every day's a new day. Every day's like I said, I always think about, I'm going through this right now, but God got me. Not to cut you off, but friend,
go ahead.
I don't tell my problems how big they are. I tell my problems how big my God is, and that's period. That's really what it is.
And
you
what
really
you
gotta
say,
let
we
go.
sign.
You really gotta do that. When it comes to finances, like, we be like, oh my God, how I'm gonna do this? Like, bro, just don't focus on the money. What you focus on expands.
Right.
You know?
And just focus on how God gonna help me get this money.
Exactly.
Shout out to my Sky Daddy. What Glorilla say? She said, every day the sun don't shine. That's why I love tomorrow.
All right.
Shout out to Glorilla. This is another invitation, girl. And two invitations in one episode.
2 for
so
1.
let's move on to top topics really quick. Thank you so much for sharing
Tequila
your
Troops.
story. No, it's top topics.
No, check your takes.
No, I'm gonna go to top topics really quick.
Fine.
I know my team wants to go to Tequila Troops, but can we please go to top topics really quick, because I got something good to say. Top topics. Thank you for sharing your story. Thank you for being
having me.
just open and transparent about it, because that's not something you have to share about yourself. You could have did your 5 years and moved on and never said a word about it, but just by you telling your story, you never know who ears it may have fell on today in this moment, and how it may have pivoted or changed their outlook on things, right? Okay, so I just got one topic on top topics today. And that's fast money. So I know that I did Airbnb for a minute, and I just cut it off because a lot of people get into Airbnb and they think that it's the fastest way to get money. Or even with Trishana, when she's teaching funding, people want it so fast. People want to get things so
instant
fast.
gratification.
Microwave generation.
Yes, instant gratification, microwave generation. So do you see longevity in Airbnb, honestly, or do you think that's a pop for right now?
I personally feel like I can see it being long term. I mean, if you invest in it the right way, I mean, I feel like having more of like vacation, like out of the country, is more. I feel like more longevity in that than what's going on like in the States.
I don't see longevity in Airbnb, from my personal opinion, because when I first got into Airbnb, it was really hot, so everybody wanted to do Airbnb. But then as I got into it, I'm just seeing that when Airbnb got into play, hotels started upping their experiences and lowering their prices, so it got really competitive with Airbnb. And then everybody has this backlash around Airbnb. They want to ban Airbnb. It doesn't come with all of the amenities of a hotel. So I can see in the next 5 years hotels beating back out Airbnbs. That's just me. But yeah, what advice do you have to entrepreneurs who want to get into Airbnb, but it's a lot of different technicalities in their city, or they banned it in their city, or how do you get around that, or should you get around it?
I honestly feel like just do your research and don't try to. If the state you're in says no, then just don't do it, because it's like, what's the reward after that? But in general, I tell all my students, like, listen, I'm gonna teach you what I know. I'm gonna teach you I'm gonna teach you what works, right? But it's up to you to do your homework. Because I mean, I don't know if you've experienced this, but you teach them stuff and then like, oh, it didn't work. No. You didn't do your research. Right. You still have to do your homework. People, so anyone that wants to get into Airbnb, I feel like this. It is a smart investment if you're doing it. Like, for me, it's not long term. It's not something I want to do.
And it wasn't long term for me either.
No, it's not something I'm going to do for the rest of my life. It's just, hey, it's doing good. It's doing well. I'm in the Houston market, so I'm always booked. So I love it. I mean, it's a great market. But again, I would say before you get involved in it, make sure you have the money to invest into it, because just like any other business, if it doesn't work out,
it take money to make money.
And two,
I think that's the beauty of entrepreneurship. A lot of people think when we start something in the entrepreneurial world that it has to last forever. Entrepreneurs know how to get in, get the money while it's good, and get the hell on. So you don't always leave. Exactly. You don't. Everything is not your baby. Everything does not to come with you. Like, business is business. You make your money. You do what you can for the community, and you get on. So I think whether it's here forever or not, definitely, if there's money in it, tap into whatever it is that you want to tap into.
Do your research. Mm-hmm.
Thank you, ladies. That was so beautiful. I love the chemistry. Now we can move on to my favorite part of the episode.
Tequila Truths.
Tequila Truths. You watched the episode, so you know you cannot lie on Tequila Truths. You cannot plead the fifth on Tequila Truths. You have to answer every question that is asked on Tequila Truths. Tequila Truths is serious. Tequila Truths is not something that should be taken lightly. When we invite you to Tequila Truths, you take your tequila and you tell the truth. That's the only thing people need to know about Tequila Truths. Because when I started Tequila Truths, I put my heart into Tequila Truths. And this has been my favorite part of the episode since I started it, which is on season 1. We're on season 2 of Tequila Truths. And every time, champagne, please.
At this point, we need to make you a tequila, friend.
Tequila.
Tequila.
We gotta go on vacation one day. What's up?
Yeah, we do. My tequila will be called Bambanito. I'm just making
that's good.
Yes, ass in the camera. Thank you, Questa. Who was supposed to walk around the other way of the thing? But okay, let's start Tequila Truth with our shot.
This is to...
Look at her shot.
She's crazy.
This is to sisterhood.
Yeah. Sisterhood.
And this is to telling the truth.
Servants
and leaders. Servants and leaders. Because I was a servant, so I'm still a servant.
Right now.
You know how I treat my men.
I quit serving my first day and ain't never looked back. That's why my man be like, girl, please.
Girl. Okay, let me take my shot.
Cause what?
I was just done drinking, y'all. Oh, that tastes like they got spicy pickles in it or something.
Oh, friend, spicy pickles. Didn't you eat some pickles? How was that? You remember that?
Oh, you can tell me if that's real. Is that real?
What?
What the pickle called? That pickle that I had on TikTok that got 1 million views.
I don't know.
It's Tequila Truth. Tell the truth.
I don't know, friend. Is it good?
Yeah, hold on. I'm trying to think of the name of the pickle.
She don't know. She just be ordering stuff on TikTok.
Chamoy pickle.
Chamoy? That's fake. I never heard of that.
You ain't never heard no chamoy pickle. They said they got it at the H-E-B store. What's the H-E-B store?
H-E-B is a supermarket.
It's a supermarket. Dominican, Mexican?
No, it's a supermarket in Houston.
Okay. All right. Trishan, start us off with the Tequila Truth questions.
Oh,
Or do you want me to start?
You start. Because I always go far left. And then y'all be telling me after the show, like, Trishan, you went too far left.
Tequila Truths.
Okay.
Okay.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so when you were in prison for the extent that you were in, what did you do when you was horny?
Oh, I had a girlfriend.
I knew it! I knew you was bisexual! I knew she was bisexual!
I did.
Wait, because I wasn't expecting none of this now. My head spinning. I'm already drunk.
Girl.
I love a bisexual. I'm bisexual.
Yes, is too. I'm not.
Girl.
She likes metrosexual.
Girl. Yes. So for a long time, I wasn't with a man.
Yeah.
Really?
So when I came home, I had a girlfriend too for like 2 years.
What?
So you just started liking men?
I just started. My man now is my second boyfriend.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And I thought the girl I was with, I came home with her. I thought we was gonna be married, but it was so toxic. I love her. That's my friend now. Mm-hmm. Hey, girl. But
your man got mad at you with your friend?
What?
Your man got mad that's still your friend?
Yeah.
Nah, cause honestly, I wouldn't date
a female. He said he be laying that pipe down.
I wouldn't, and it's not. I don't have nothing against the community.
It's not bisexual.
But it's just not me.
You heterosexual.
So yeah, but I did my ones and twos.
Yeah. How did you get around that in prison though?
Oh, girl. They all like the officers.
Yeah.
They liked me because I was cool.
Yeah.
So anything I wanted to do, I could do.
They let you do. They had you.
I used to be like.
Yeah.
You was.
And then they just let you.
See, y'all, this innocent face knows some things.
That was back in her day.
That was back in my day.
Allegedly.
That's what her day. So let's talk about being a servant in the bed. Because are you submissive or are you dominant with your man?
Right, because you told your man you don't even need him.
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
Y'all, I feel like, and y'all can say what y'all want.
Yeah.
I feel like I could be better.
In bed?
Yeah.
What do you think you could work on? Because me and Trishana was just teaching each other how to
ride.
I feel like I'm a little stiff, like my hips.
We was just talking about this last night. She would show me her position, I'll show her mine.
Okay, well,
we gotta put you in a group chat.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I feel like I just want to lay on the bed.
Ask Tay. Tay be teaching me too.
And that's why, didn't I just tell you I was a pillow princess? I'm a pillow princess. Right. I don't like riding.
See, this don't have sex on the first day, because what if it's bad and he like, that girl was whack. But really, really, if it's like, If it's good, it's good, and I'm running with
but
it.
this is a advice I can give you. Men love to be talked to. So even if I feel like I'm not doing a lot in the bed, I just talk to my man. Like,
Don't talk to me.
I talk to him so good. Like
Don't talk to me.
And then like when you get ladies, this
What
is
you
the
say?
best
What
advice.
you saying?
If I'm doing it for the front, first of all, if you're doing it from the front, if you're doing it missionary, let me give it the correct terms. You have
From
to
the
grind
front.
back.
She just told me that yesterday.
How to grind back. You don't just lay there, friend. You lay there, don't you? You lay there, don't you?
Yeah.
No, what you do is you pull him in and you like so they go like this.
So a little
it's
rhythm.
Yes, it's a flow with both y'all. He gonna like that. Then you ask him like, whose is this? And he gonna say, this mine. I'm gonna say, fuck me like you sure is dead.
Now she got a whole skin.
Yeah, and then like
It was the head move when you say it.
then from the back, you still roll. So even when I'm like from the back, I still like mess him up.
I was just teaching Des how to ride yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know how to ride. I hate it.
I love it.
Wow. Okay, I'm not alone. Cause I was like,
So
and
which
then
one you feel like you good at?
I mean, I don't get no complaints, but
Right.
I my excuses are, I'm not sexually that experienced with men.
Right. Okay.
And guys like that, you seem innocent.
Before it was with the women, it was
It's just
different.
like bumpy cooties.
I mean, other stuff.
Yeah, dildos too.
Yeah.
Girl, say it's the truth.
Oh,
Dildos.
oral.
and stuff.
No, not dildos. Oral
and bumpy cooties.
Yeah.
Scissor. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
different. But I feel like men, even if you're not like on your game, like because the coochie could be amazing. But even if you're not like
See, I can never
dominant in
relate to
bed,
this.
stroke his ego.
Don't talk to me. I don't like that.
No, you
when
have
guys
to.
be
You
like,
you like kissing?
guys be like, whose is it? Shut up, doing all that.
Do you like?
Yeah,
you
I'm
like
a kisser.
kissing? You a kisser?
You want me to? Yes, sometimes.
We are Capricorns. That's how I'm like.
Oh yeah, you a Capricorn.
yeah.
Let me tell you the line that you gotta use on your man before this episode drops, so he won't know. You're
What is
so innocent. You're an angel, Yokairis. But when he's fucking you from the back this time, be like, fuck me like a hoe.
Oh.
And on that note,
No. Let me stop. For real, say that. He gonna be like, what? He gonna grab your hair, Yokairis, like this,
don't grab my hair either.
and he gonna be like, he fucking me like a hoe. Then he be like, slap that shit. He gonna.
Oh my God. Okay. I'm going home a new woman.
No, okay.
Yeah. Wait, and you've been gone for 2 days, so when you get
girl.
there,
You have to
Saddle
say
up.
Say what I said.
Uh-huh.
Don't say it like you know me. Fuck me like the hoe. Mm-mm.
Agree.
Say it. Let me hear you.
Fuck me like a hoe.
No, Yocairys.
Dame como un hoe. I'm
No.
gonna say Spanish.
No. No. Say it, Yocairys.
I can't say
Say it. Sky Daddy, close your ears.
I can't say it.
Say it.
Mm.
Say it, Yocairys.
I can't do it.
Say it, Trishana.
Not publicly.
say it. Fuck me like a hoe.
No. You in the studio?
That's,
It's fuck me like a hoe.
I don't
that?
like.
But
I
I
don't
like
like that
that.
though.
That's aggressive.
Because I want you to have sex with me like I'm your wife, like I'm your.
That's your problem.
she said that's your problem.
Yeah, because don't do that with me
Let's
like a
just stop
hoe.
it right here. We're gonna have a whole
Group chat.
lesson.
Group
Yes,
chat,
we're gonna have a
yeah.
whole lesson. So I know you have something coming up October 3rd through the 5th.
Yes,
so
ma'am.
can we see that on the screen, please?
October 3rd to the 5th. I am teaching you guys Airbnb, business credit, and mindset. Why? Because it all starts with your mind, okay? What you think about, you bring about, all right?
Ooh, I like that.
Airbnb, I'll be teaching you guys everything I know about Airbnb, how to get started, how to look for an apartment, what to say, all that good stuff, business credit.
And I be seeing
and-
your Airbnbs too. They lit.
Oh, they so cute,
so
right?
good.
Oh my God, I got so much going on. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all, y'all. So go on my Instagram. Link is in my bio.
And I'm gonna make sure to put your Instagram below because I know from your story and just from your triumph and everything that you've been doing, your therapy, your serving, the life that you brought, the light that you shine onto the world is gonna be amazing.
This
So
is
I'm
one of my
gonna make
favorite
sure-
episodes. I'm not gonna lie.
Tay, how do you feel about this episode? Okay, perfect. Okay, so before we go,
Cause they be letting us have it after the show. Y'all just don't see it off camera.
man. So before we go, we do want to tell you about the exit planner. It's only available. Oh, thank you, Alvin and Chipmunks. But today we want to tell you about the exit planner. It's only available to the people who are watching this episode right now. So Trishana and I created a 6-month exit plan. Just like we said, most businesses don't have longevity, especially with service providing. Service providers, especially not a lot of longevity or stability in that long term. So we created the exit planner to teach you how to ditch the chair. We go over everything from creating courses to funding to just marketing, making money in your sleep, creating content, all of those different things that you need to know to ditch whatever situation that you're in the next 6 months.
Passive income.
And you can use the code YouTube to get a discount on your exit planner. And
right
we
now.
have left
A
the
discount.
Link. Yes,
wow.
I love a discount. And we left the link in the caption below. So make sure y'all grab your physical planners,
so
and when you grab it, you get into our 365-day mentorship for free. This has been another episode on season 2.
All right now.
My mustache always sweating.
It's not sweating.
Yes, it is. It's going to show up in the clip.
In the clip.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Yokairis.
Bye.